Hello everyone, I'm Charlotte, and welcome back to Read Insight. In this fast-paced era, we always seem to be rushing to graduate, rushing to get promoted, rushing to do the right things at the right age. Sometimes, late at night before you fall asleep, have you ever asked yourself, is this life truly what I want, or am I merely fulfilling the expectations others have for me? Today, I want to take you back to a classic that you may have heard of, or perhaps even read, but one that offers entirely new sensations when revisited at different stages of life. That book is Paulo Coelho's The Alchemist. This isn't just an adventure story about hunting for treasure. It is a mirror reflecting the soul within each of us that longs to wander and yearns to pursue its destiny. The protagonist of our story is a Spanish shepherd boy named Santiago. Interestingly, he didn't become a shepherd because of poverty, but because he desired to travel. His parents had hoped he would become a priest, living a life of stability and respect. Doesn't that sound familiar? It's very much like the iron rice bowl, or stable career path our elders often encourage us to take. But Santiago summoned the courage to tell his father, "I don't want stability. I want to see the castles and the women of the world." Although his father sighed, he gave him 3 gold coins to buy a flock. This moment is incredibly moving because it symbolizes a gentle letting go, marking the beginning of the boy's wandering life. Days passed peacefully until one day the boy had the same dream twice in a row. He dreamed of a child telling him that a treasure was buried at the foot of the pyramids in Egypt. How absurd does that sound? If we had such a dream, we would likely brush it off as soon as we woke up to brush our teeth. But this is the turning point of the story. The boy meets the King of Salem, an old man who introduces a core concept that runs through the entire book: the personal legend. The old king tells him that a personal legend is what you have always wanted to accomplish. He says, when you want something, all the universe conspires in helping you to achieve it. This quote has become a motto for countless people, yet we often overlook the price behind these words. To go to Egypt, the boy must sell his flock. This is a massive metaphor. The sheep represent the comfort zone in our lives. They represent food, water, and certainty. The sheep don't care where they are going. They only care about their next meal. How many of us, in our day-to-day grind, have slowly become sheep, caring only about the next paycheck or the next meal? Santiago chooses to give up everything familiar and crosses the sea to Africa. However, reality immediately deals him a heavy blow. As soon as he arrives in Tangier, he is robbed by a con artist and loses all his money. In that instant, the dream shatters. He goes from an adventurer pursuing his destiny to a penniless stranger in a foreign land. This part of the plot feels incredibly real because the universe isn't always gentle on the road to our dreams. Sometimes, it tests your resolve in cruel ways. The boy is forced to work in a crystal shop, staying there for a full year. This period is fascinating because the crystal merchant is a conservative man. He knows that making a pilgrimage to Mecca is his personal legend, but he refuses to go. He fears that if he realizes his dream, he will have no reason to keep on living. This forces us to think, are you like Santiago, moving forward even after falling? Or are you like the crystal merchant, preferring to worship your dream in your heart rather than risking the reality of achieving it? After earning enough money, Santiago faces a choice. Should he buy back his sheep and return home, proving that this was all just a foolish escapade? Or should he continue into the unknown desert to find a treasure that might not even exist? It's just like when we save our first pot of gold. Do we use it for a down payment on a house to settle down? Or do we use it to start a business or study abroad? The boy remembers the old king's words, recalls the feeling of being called by the universe, and resolutely joins a caravan crossing the Sahara desert. In the desert, he learns to observe the omens, learns to listen to the wind, and more importantly, he meets Fatima at an oasis. Love is often the biggest variable on the path to dreams. Fatima is a woman of the desert, and she falls in love with the boy. At this moment, Santiago wavers. He feels Fatima is more precious than the treasure, and he wants to stay. Here, the author presents a very high-level view of love. Fatima tells him, "If you are chasing your personal legend, I will wait for you. But if you stay for me, you will eventually regret it, and I will suffer knowing I became the reason you stopped." True love is not a shackle. It is the support that allows the other person to fulfill their destiny. This sentiment is a deafening reminder for modern relationships. Bidding farewell to his love, the boy continues deeper into the desert, guided by a mysterious alchemist. This leg of the journey is even more perilous. They are captured by an army, and to save their lives, the alchemist boasts that the boy can turn himself into the wind. This passage of magical realism is spectacular. Santiago stands on a cliff, conversing with the desert, the wind, and the sun. Finally, he reaches into his own soul and discovers the truth that all things are one. He truly vanishes before everyone's eyes and reappears in the distance. While this is a mythical description, the meaning is profound. When we no longer fear, and when we connect with the soul of the world, our potential is infinite. After enduring untold hardships, the boy finally arrives at the foot of the pyramids. He digs frantically under the moonlight, finding absolutely nothing. Instead, he is beaten and robbed by a group of refugees. As the thieves are leaving, one of them hears that the boy came because of a dream about treasure. The thief mocks him, saying, "I also had a dream once. I dreamed that in a ruined church in Spain, there was a sycamore tree growing out of the sacristy, and buried beneath it was a treasure. But I'm not so stupid as to cross an entire desert just because of a dream." Hearing this, the boy smiles. It is perhaps one of the most powerful laughs in literary history, because the place the thief described was exactly where Santiago used to sleep with his sheep, exactly where he had his first dream. The ending is so ironic, yet so profound. The treasure was right there at his starting point, in his familiar homeland, all along. You might ask, then why did he walk this journey in vain? Why go through the deception, cross the desert, and face death? Couldn't he have just dug down right at the start? No, dear listeners, it was absolutely not in vain. If the boy hadn't left, he wouldn't have learned the language of the world. If he hadn't left, he wouldn't have met Fatima. If he hadn't left, he wouldn't have seen the magnificence of the pyramids. Most importantly, without this journey, even if the treasure was right beneath his feet, that simple shepherd boy wouldn't have understood the value of this wealth, nor would he have understood the clue the thief gave him. The alchemist tells us that life is indeed like a circle. We will eventually return to the origin, but the you who returns is no longer the you who left. The way you look at the world has changed. Your soul has become richer. You understand that the secret of turning lead into gold lies not in chemical formulas, but in life experience. Perhaps, right now, you are also at a crossroads in life, struggling with whether to leave your flock. Perhaps you fear failure, or you fear the storms of the desert. But please remember the alchemist's words. There is only one thing that makes a dream impossible to achieve: the fear of failure. When you truly desire something, the entire universe conspires to help you. This doesn't mean the road will be paved with flowers. It means that every stone, every gust of wind, and even every fall on this path is a gift carefully arranged by the universe to make you worthy of that dream. So, don't stop. Go make mistakes. Go love. Go get hurt. And then, at some moment, you will realize that the treasure you have been searching for has always been in your heart. You just needed to travel the world to find your way home. That is the story I wanted to share with you today. May we all hear the voice at the bottom of our hearts, amidst the noise of the world, and find our own marvelous journey.